Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marshall Community Services News, October 2008 edition. My name is Doug Goodman, and for the next 10 to 20 minutes, we're going to share with you what's coming up in the world of Marshall Community Services. We're here in the basement of the Lyon County Library in Studio One, and this show will be aired on Public Access TV, that's Charter Channel 8 or 19, and also on Knology 35 or 80, depending upon which you subscribe to. With me is our very special guest, the one and only Mr. Cam Bailey. Welcome, Cam.
Welcome, Doug. Thanks for that great introduction. We're into the middle of September already. Exciting time, probably one of my favorite times of the year. Not too hot, not too cold, a lot of different activities and events happening, and hopefully here in the next 15 minutes we can kind of touch base on those and got to keep you up to date with what's going on in the community.
In fact, you mentioned it. It's fall activity. It's a fun time. In fact, there are a lot of activities going on, fall sports, and all of our Marshall Public Schools are in full swing. In fact, for most of you, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but Cam Bailey is the voice of the Marshall Tigers. So if you get a chance to go out and watch one of our great volleyball matches, our volleyball team in action, defending state champions, by the way, along with our undefeated Marshall Tiger football team, you'll get a chance to hear Cam and his great voice over the PA system. So congratulations on that. I know that the season's going by fast, isn't it?
That's right, you know, and a lot of these events, it goes by real quick here in September and October, and you know this fall already, all the sports seasons are doing great. Like you mentioned, volleyball and football, and in the cross country and swimming and all those activities. I'm sure I'm missing a few too. Soccer as well, as Jess is pointing out. Just a lot of different activities in the fall, which a lot of high school students are part of. And probably to lead right into that is I know there's a lot of anxious 9th through 12th graders anxiously awaiting the intramural season, which will start up here in October. And the reason we kind of skip September is there's just a lot of kids in activities, and they kind of wind down around MEA break, and then we kick up our intramural co-rec volleyball season. So that informational meeting will be Wednesday, October 1st at the Marshall High School Theater during activity period 1 o'clock. So anybody interested, boys or girls, 9th through 12th grade, must attend that activity period meeting, and we'll kind of go over rules, regulations, how the seasons ran, and we'll start, I believe, the third week of October right after MEA break. We're looking at playing Mondays and Thursday nights over at Parkside Gym, and that leads up to about Thanksgiving break. So last year we had just a great amount of students involved in intramural volleyball. We had some cool theme nights. We had a Pretty in Pink theme night where all the teams dressed in pink, a camouflage night where they were all dressed in camouflage, and Hawaiian night as well. So I believe over 105 students participated in volleyball. So that's the first intramural program starting up, which is involving all those 9th through 12th grade Marshall students.
Once again, that meeting is October 1st,
That's right.
1 o'clock. It's out at Marshall High School. It's a time when, as you said, any 9th through 12th grader wants to get involved in intramurals, and intramurals has a lot of kids, and of course we mentioned our sports, but marching band, Pursuit of Excellence, 18 schools coming to town this weekend. That's September 20th, and obviously this show is covering the last 2 weeks of September, so we're covering some of the, kind of those activities, but lots of things happening, and I know intramurals is one that's coming up. Cam, you've got a lot of programs going on right now, don't you?
Yeah, we're really at the midway point of the fall season here. And I know in the recent shows we've talked about our youth footballs, which are going on now, junior volleyball, our middle school soccer. All those are kind of at the midway point of the season, and with the end of the season targeted about MEA break. One thing I do want to touch base on is junior football clinics, which is headed by the Tiger head coaches, staff, and players. There's 2 final Saturdays left for this. This Saturday and then the following Saturday, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. That's over at the Marshall High School practice fields. No registration. Come out for about an hour of instruction from the Tiger staff and players, and that is for kindergarten through second graders. So that's this Saturday, and then the final Saturday of the month of September, which wraps up our Junior Tiger Clinic. So make sure you mark your calendar for that. Had great participation so far this season, although the last few Saturdays here have been kind of rainy and wet, but we're hoping for some good weather here in the last few weeks.
Now, I know you've got a lot of students involved, youth involved in their football program and your youth volleyball program, but adult sports, I know you've got some in progress, and there's some important organizational meetings right around the corner also, isn't there?
That's right. We're right now swinging through our season of adult fall softball, flag football at Justice Park, and then our kickball. They're about 3 weeks into the season, but scary to say, and it always makes you think of snow and all that stuff, but our winter sports season is upon us here really soon. In fact, another organizational meeting will be Wednesday, October 1st, for men's rec basketball, men's over 35 basketball, and all our volleyball leagues. So that's Wednesday, October 1st. Always great participation within the community of Marshall and the surrounding towns participating in these various leagues. Mark your calendar, Wednesday, October 1st. The basketball meetings are 6 p.m., and that's at in the council chambers of the municipal building there on Main Street. And then at 7 o'clock, we will have men's volleyball, co-rec volleyball, and women's volleyball from 7 to about 7:45 at the municipal building council chambers. So the league itself begins the week of November 10th, and we will have some open volleyball nights leading up to that. So it is scary to think that we're thinking about winter sports, but it goes quick. The fall's a short season, and we gear up for that. And we do play from the week of November 10th all the way through March. So it's a long season, but it's great to get out, get involved, meet some friends, and be part of the community and playing some of these, now they're getting to be pretty highly competitive leagues. So if you're out there and you're new to town or you want to get a team, we do have a neat thing as a free agent form. So if you've got one or two people that just don't know enough people in town or they want to get involved, you can swing by our office, get on that free agent listing, and then we can try to help you get on a team. So it doesn't discourage anybody from not wanting to participate.
Sounds good. And as we maybe kind of wrap up our sports section of Marshall Community Services News, are you looking for officials, gym supervisors, any open gyms coming up?
Yeah, we do. We will start open gyms in November, the first Sunday in November, 3 to 5 p.m. over at the Marshall Middle School, and that's for anybody who wants to just get out and stay active. So that's just $2 per person for that. Officials we always talk about on our shows, you just never have enough of them. Be it volleyball officials, basketball officials, or any kind of sports officials. So if you've got a little background in that, you want to get into officiating yourself, you're a great mentor for that, and I can help you out as well. So swing up to our office and fill out an application, and we'll try to get you involved some way. So like you said, youth sports, adult sports are running right through the fall season. We're getting geared up for the winter, and there's just a lot of other things going on as well. So we're excited.
So if you're interested in sports, obviously October 1st is a big date. If you either as a participant or if you want to be an official, we'll provide the training, or even just volunteering to help coach our youth programs, which
right.
I know there's a lot of need in that area too, and there's additional training provided. So that's an important part of our community is, of course, our adult and youth sports programs.
That's right.
All right, Cam, I think, Marshall Community Services obviously is parks, recreation, and community education. I know our parks system right now, as we move to the end of September, is kind of, the leaves are starting to change. I know that our shelters are still available for rentals. Mm-hmm. However, I know that by the time we get to the middle of October, even the end of October, parks do start to shut down. There still is a policy, a reservation process that you need to go through in terms of reserving a park shelter for a great fall picnic, family reunion, class reunion, whatever. For more information on getting that process taken care of, Cam, what does the person do?
They can give us a call at 537-6767. I know Danielle answering the phones will be glad to help you out, give you some direction. A lot of questions are always raised on what's at this park, be it the playground equipment or benches or picnic tables. So there's always a lot of questions when, gearing up for a reunion or a party, or you know, in your case, we can talk about you've got a wedding at the park this weekend. One of your daughters is getting married at Independence Park, and you'd be firsthand knowing there's a lot of things that go into, you know, special events like that. So give us a call. We can help you out, get you in the right direction for you know, reserving a shelter or park. And as we all know, the parks within you know, the Marshall community are just pristine. You know, go by them; they're in great shape. A lot of new equipment. So very proud of the parks here in Marshall.
Well, and yes, and we want to mention Tom Polfate and his great staff, and recognize them for another great summer of keeping our parks utterly spectacular. And from the flowers downtown to in all the parks to, once again, the great playground equipment, the sports facilities, of course, which are recognized in the upper Midwest as some of the best sports facilities available. It's great to have those type of facilities once again in Marshall. So special recognition to our parks maintenance crew. Cam, I think it's time to maybe switch gears a little bit. We've talked about recreation, we've talked about parks, and now it's community ed. And I guess if you would, why don't you hold up our community services brochure? This is something that actually went out to everybody in Marshall that receives mail, along with some area communities, Lynn, Ghent, Emeret, all of our SMSU students. This is our community services fall brochure. And in there are 48 pages packed full of activities, programs, special events, hobby skills, craft type classes, Boomer Nation classes, just a number of different things that you can get involved in our community by signing up and registering. And you can actually go online and see this whole brochure also, can't you?
That's right. You know, just here in the past few seasons, we've offered online registration, which have been a great success. You know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You cannot register for any programs, with a couple key things being you can't, of course, you know, register for your behind the wheel, and there's some adult sports that have to have some roster signed and whatnot. But for the most part, a lot of our programs, activities can be registered online at www.marshallmn.com, or you can just go on there and scroll around and see what's being offered season to season.
And it isn't just Marshall Community Services activities, classes, those type of things. There are a number of community activities and events that are in there. And so it's important that you check it out. Once again, view it online. You can register over the phone with your Visa MasterCard. You can stop into our office, register that way, or you can register online by going to that website. And a couple of things, once again, I just want to mention here, late September, one of those great community education classes is our Marshall Senior Woodshop class. It actually happens every Wednesday at Marshall High School in the woodshop. It's from 3 to 6 p.m. Our fantastic instructor, Don Otterson, is our leader of that group of guys and gals that come out and they do some very special community projects. They're involved in the Toys for Tots program that as they prepare for the Christmas holiday season. They do some great things once again in that senior woodshop. It's only $10, believe it or not, and it runs all the way through till next May. Wow. And you can get signed up for that. You can register over at the Adult Community Center. You can register at Community Services, or you can just head out to the high school on Wednesday afternoons at 3 o'clock. A couple other things I want to mention. Community Services collaborates very closely with the American Red Cross chapter here in Lyon and Lincoln County. The local director, Colleen, works with us in offering classes. There's a number of classes coming up at the end of September here, from CPR, first aid, refresher courses, babysitting training courses, just a number of things that are affiliated with the American Red Cross that you can get your certification and probably or possibly be in the right spot at the right time and save someone's life. So right. Those are great classes, important classes. And if you have any questions, you can call 532-2265 or Community Services. We've got all the information listed. Other things coming up, I already mentioned Pursuit of Excellence, but also out at the Ice Arena, Schwann's Ice Arena, located at the fairgrounds, there's a big arts and crafts festival. Also Saturday, that's September 20th. I believe it's from 9 to 4 at the arena, and there's just a multitude of arts and crafts, phenomenal arts and crafts that you can go out and look at, purchase, maybe get some ideas to do some home decorating, your office decorating, just some great ideas. And that's an annual event, once again, tied in with Pursuit of Excellence. So we hope for a good turnout out there. Other things coming up. Shotokan karate class is coming up on the 22nd of September. If you're interested in learning some self-defense techniques, whether you're young or old, Shotokan karate class is something that you could sign up for, along with our Taekwondo classes, just a number of different things that are still available and continue to be available here through Marshall Community Services. Also coming up later on in the month, it's homecoming.
That's right. Homecoming, end of the month. Who do we have for a home game there? I should know that off the top of my head.
Worthington.
Trojans. We've got the Trojans in town. What is it, the October 3rd? That's always an exciting week for the students. A lot of activities, of course, a lot of home activities. And, hopefully at that time the Marshall football is, still undefeated at that time, and volleyball still rolling, and soccer, swimming, and all that are gearing up. But always an exciting week. I believe they still have some kind of coronation at the high school. And just a lot of fun things happening on that weekend. And make sure you check, with the paper, and getting involved with the community for that week, and getting out, and hopefully we can see a lot of these fans at the games.
I know that the coronation is on Monday the 29th, I believe. There's also a talent show out at Marshall High School in the theater. It's always a big week. It's homecoming week, not just for Marshall High School, but I think all of our Marshall schools, from our elementary grades up to our middle school age, they all get involved with homecoming festivities, and it's always an exciting week. And of course, as we roll into October, it's hard to believe that the fall season is going by this quickly, but we encourage you, everyone, to get involved. In fact, I think if you watch this channel, Public Access TV, Jess Nelson, our Community Access Coordinator, is going to have a lot of that activity on. You'll see it played throughout pretty much all hours of the day. If you're out at Marshall High School, you can tune into Tiger TV. They've got all kinds of student activity videos going on. It's just, once again, a great way to tune in and find out what's happening in Marshall Community Services. And Cam, I know in another couple weeks, it's going to be early October, and we'll be taping the show again. Anything coming up in early October that maybe we need to mention now?
Yeah, and one thing I want to just kind of add to that last comment you made is in having conversations with Jess in Studio One, feel free to get a hold of him, or if you're going to see him at a lot of these different activities. And if there's something you want to see on Studio One broadcast, or if you'd like him to be out at a certain event, or if there's a special event, or someone's coming to town and out there filming that, I'm sure Jess would be more than glad to listen to what you have to say, and hopefully get involved and get some more different things. Because, as you said, on the channels, you're going to see a lot of sports activities and concerts and stuff like that. But I know he tries to do a great job of getting within the schools, be it elementary students or whatnot, and filming some of that stuff. So make sure if you see him, tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, we want to see this on the Studio One TV.
It's not that he tries to do a good job. He does do a good job of making sure that everything is covered. I don't know how he does it, but he covers a lot of stuff. And of course, if you do need to get a hold of Jess at Studio One, once again, here in the basement of the Lyon County Library, he's here quite a bit, but you can also dial 532-2337, or you can go online or email him at marshalltv@iw.net. And I think he checks his email pretty regularly, and you can find out and ask questions. Find out if your program could be covered, could be included here on Public Access TV. Right. I think it's kind of nice to see some of that programming done. And of course, our Marshall Public Schools, there's always great things happening there, and we encourage them to, even if it's something in the classroom that those teachers would like taped, Jess is typically available to get it done. And
he'll be glad we said that, because now his phone will be ringing off the hook and his email will be full, and he'll have more places to be than he can be at.
But we just got him busier.
But, and kind of add on to that, October, as you said, coming up here, the arena opens up. We've got a Saturday, October 11th kickoff for the arena, and probably just briefly, between your figure skating lessons, your open hockey hours, I believe the Marshall Boys Tigers are going to try to do some Tiger lessons here in October, November, so a lot of different things, and beyond that, open skates. So as we get closer to October and on that show, we'll probably fill you in more on that information.
Heck, we may even do a show right from the arena, and I don't know if we're ready to get out on the ice quite yet, no, but it isn't that far away. And maybe a last couple thoughts here, as I want to mention a couple classes, community ed classes, coming up in October. We do have a brand new offered beginning Spanish class. John Cram, a new Spanish teacher at Marshall High School, has agreed to offer community beginning Spanish. And obviously, if you're a local business, if you're someone in the community that would like to visit a little bit more frequently with your neighbors and want to learn some basic Spanish, this is a great opportunity. It's on Monday evenings. I think it begins October 6th. That's a great class to sign up for. Also, beginning guitar lessons, another popular class, still a few spaces available. Van Sound Room, located right on downtown Main Street here, has space available. So if you want to try learning how to play a guitar, you can get involved with that. Also, Drum Circle. If you're kind of into percussion, and I know, Cam, you like to dance and you have a good beat, that kind of stuff. You want to get into playing some drums or doing some of that kind of stuff, learn about percussion instruments. There's an Intro to Drum Circle class coming up also that same week. So if you're interested in that, give us a call, get signed up, along with a lot of other classes. Like you mentioned, Learn to Skate. Lots of kids are skating nowadays. It's a great program. We want to bid farewell, and many thanks to Andrea Sattler, who has left our program, relocating, but we do want to assure you that we've got some great instructors coming in to try to fill Andrea's footsteps, and there'll still be a great quality program offered once again beginning October 11th.
That's right.
Cam, anything else?
Boy, we touched base on a lot of things. Probably finally, for all you boarders, bladers, and bikers out there, the skate park is still open through the middle of October, 4 to 6 p.m. from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, closed on Wednesdays, and then weekends, 1 to 4 p.m. So Boards and Blades still open as long as the weather permits. So get out there, get involved after school. You know, instead of going home and playing those video games, get out and get active and stay in fit and shape and all that stuff. So make a note of that.
And you mentioned it, instead of going home watching those video games and all that good stuff, there's still space available in that after-school program for 5th through 8th graders. It's Monday through Thursday over at the middle school. Chance to get the homework done. Lots of activities, lots of fun stuff to do after the homework's done. 5th through 8th graders, moms and dads, it's a great program. You want to get your son or daughter enrolled in that right away. Lots of fun stuff.
That's right.
All right, I think that's about it. Time to wrap up this edition, October 2008 edition of Marshall Community Services News. On behalf of Cam Bailey, my name's Doug Goodman, and we urge you to keep fit, mentally involved, and enjoy life by participating in your Marshall Community Services programs and activities. Thank you, and see you in a couple of weeks. Good night.